Hello, and welcome to Binge Watch List. October is finally here, and with it comes some of the best new TV shows premiering on streaming platforms like Netflix, Apple TV+, Amazon Prime Video, and several others. Fall season and Halloween are just some of the numerous reasons why this month is so special, and many of the new shows premiering this October have done their best to reflect the spirit of this spooky month. So if you are into the horror genre, then you'll have your hands full with many juicy options. And for those of us who don't care for such things, there are plenty of new and returning TV series to keep us fully entertained, while the horror fans are screaming their lungs out. With that said, let's get into it.
What is that?
Welcome to Derry premieres October 26th, and I'm already counting down the days. This new show isn't just a rehash of the films, it's a full-blown prequel set in the 1960s. It dives deep into Derry's truly messed-up history, drawing from the dark interludes of Stephen King's original novel. You'll find Bill Skarsgård is back as Pennywise. I can't imagine anybody else could possibly play that role like he does. The show focuses on a new cast of characters, including the Harlan family, and is expected to explore events like the devastating Black Spot Fire. And at the same time, we get a closer look at the insidious 27-year cycle of fear that fuels the clown. It really aims to be a psychological chiller, showing how fear itself is a weapon. My only tiny worry as a genuine fan is that by giving Pennywise an origin story, the series might strip away some of the mystique that made the cosmic entity so terrifying in the first place. But with Andy Muschietti and the original creative team back, I'm optimistic they'll accurately nail the tone. You can binge this as soon as it premieres on October 26th, exclusively on HBO Max. Seriously, you should set a reminder for that.
You're the one who can't look away.
This new season of Ryan Murphy's anthology series Monster is definitely worth watching, and I'll tell you all about it in a minute. This third installment in the series is titled The Ed Gein Story, and it looks like it's going to be the most unsettling one yet. The series dives into the true story of Ed Gein, the notorious Wisconsin murderer and grave robber who inspired horror classics like Psycho and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. British actor Charlie Hunnam playing the role of Ed Gein looks genuinely creepy. He totally nails that recluse-turned-psycho aura that's fundamental in properly portraying this kind of character. The show promises to explore how this butcher of Plainfield was shaped by his isolation and disturbing obsession with his mother. Honestly, this is already shaping up to be the perfect Halloween binge watch. It's dropping on Netflix on the 3rd of October, so that gives you just enough time to get suitably freaked out before the end of the month. If you're looking for a dark, compelling true crime dive into the origin of Hollywood's monsters, you'll be hooked. Next, Harlan Coben's Lazarus.
Ghosts. Right in front of me. I've been seeing people who have died, seeing them like I'm seeing you right now.
Are you familiar with Harlan Coben's novels? Well, for those of us who aren't, this new miniseries called Lazarus, coming to Prime Video this month, looks like a mind-bending ride that could do a good job of introducing us to his story universe. The show stars Sam Claflin as Joel Lazarus, a forensic psychologist who comes home after his dad's apparent suicide. But then he starts having these super unsettling experiences he can't explain, which quickly link up to a string of cold case murders and his sister's unsolved killing from 25 years ago. The story's got all the trademark Harlan Coben characteristics, but this time with an eerie twist and a psychological horror spine. It premieres on October 22nd, so it's the perfect spooky season watch. The only heads up I'd give you is a general one, because it's a common recurrence in several of Coben's series. Sometimes people find they can be a bit overdramatic with minor plot holes. But nevertheless, if you love a fast-paced, twist-filled mystery that keeps you guessing, you'll definitely want to see this one. Sam Claflin and Bill Nighy together surely has to be a guaranteed winner, right? Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. I watched the trailer for Apple TV Plus's The Last Frontier, and the very first thought that came to mind was Con Air, the 1997 movie starring Nicolas Cage. This new show is a thriller drama about a disgraced U.S. Marshal who gets reassigned to a remote outpost in the Alaskan wilderness. He's convinced that he has been transferred there as punishment for his past, but things get incredibly wicked when a prisoner transport airplane crashes nearby, and suddenly he's dealing with dozens of violent fugitives on the loose in the wilderness. As I said earlier, this show is already giving me major Con Air vibes with its gritty survivalist twist. Jason Clarke stars, and it looks incredibly intense. Now, some are saying the lone wolf cop narrative is pretty much a cliche at this point in television, and that it might be a challenge to keep the manhunt plot feeling fresh over 10 episodes. But honestly, the premise of a deliberate plane crash by criminals as the first step in a bigger conspiracy sounds awesome to me. It premieres October 10th, and you can watch it only on Apple TV+.
I've been in hot water before.
Cops. Money. Gangsters.
Amsterdam Empire is a Dutch crime drama series coming to Netflix this October. But don't let that label fool you. This isn't just a simple crime show. It's a blend of high-end Dutch glamour mixed with the gritty, messy reality of the Amsterdam cannabis underworld. The core of the story is the spectacular downfall of Jack Van Doorn's coffee shop empire Jackal. You see, Jack built everything he owns fighting criminals and dodgy characters. But now his biggest and most dangerous adversary is his wife, Betty, a former pop singer, who's now the ultimate scorned woman because of Jack's affair with a beautiful journalist. Betty is super mad, and unfortunately for Jack, she has intimate knowledge of his life and all his crimes, and she plans to completely dismantle him from the inside out. It's a high-stakes Dutch-language revenge thriller that promises cinematic style, high-octane family drama, and a central female character who is far more formidable than her husband ever anticipated. You can stream it exclusively on Netflix, starting October 30th.
I want to feel and look like this forever. I love my jeans.
I love your jeans.
Loot, if you haven't seen it, is a hilarious Apple TV Plus sitcom starring Maya Rudolph as Molly Wells, a woman who becomes incredibly wealthy after getting an $87 billion divorce settlement when she leaves her philandering husband. She's wildly out of touch, but decides to spend her days at the charitable foundation she literally forgot she owned, through which she now gives away all $87 billion of her wealth. It's a fantastic workplace comedy that's sharp, a little bit silly, but full of heart. In Season 3, which is dropping on Apple TV Plus on Wednesday, October 15th, Molly's mission to give away her fortune gets complicated when she has to face her billionaire ex, leading to some awkward but hilarious confrontations. We're finally going to see the fallout from the Season 2 cliffhanger, where she flew off into the blue with her assistant. You can expect even more chaos this season, as we'll see some hysterical billionaire versus billionaire feuds. And finally, a resolution to the simmering romantic tension between Molly and Arthur. Honestly, the chemistry between Maya Rudolph and the brilliant ensemble cast is the best part of this show. It feels like a warm hug of smart comedy. You absolutely need to tune in. Next up, Nobody Wants This.
Part of being in a relationship is dealing with these issues, and we will.
I feel like we've been saying that a lot lately.
Nobody Wants This is the smart grown-up rom-com we all needed. And thank goodness we are finally getting a second season this October. The show is about the totally unexpected and seemingly impossible romance between Joanne, a hilarious agnostic sex and dating podcaster, and Noah, an incredibly charming, newly single rabbi. The whole premise is that their love shouldn't work because of their wildly different worlds, but their chemistry is insane. I'm so excited because Season 2 drops all 10 episodes on October 23rd, exclusively on Netflix. The first season ended on a bittersweet note, and Season 2 is all about the turbulence of actually trying to blend their complicated lives. Plus, Leighton Meester, who is Adam Brody's wife in real life, is guest starring as Joanne's middle school nemesis. The show is genuinely funny, surprisingly deep about faith and family, and the best kind of binge watch. Next up, Boots.
My life needs a change, sir. I want to be somebody else.
Son, boot camp is the machine that turns boys into men. In 13 weeks, you won't even recognize yourself.
Get your popcorn ready on the 9th of October because I have a must-add to your watch list. We are diving into Boots, the smart and heartfelt comedic drama series premiering soon on Netflix. It's set in the military, but this isn't your typical military show. It's a compelling coming-of-age story that's actually inspired by the memoir The Pink Marine by former U.S. Marine Greg Cope White. The show takes us back to the U.S. Marine Corps boot camp in the early 1990s, a time when being openly gay in the military was completely forbidden. Miles Heiser from 13 Reasons Why stars as Cameron Cope, a closeted, directionless teen who enlists alongside his straight best friend. It's an 8-episode balancing act of intense drills and unexpected humor, exploring how these recruits forge an unlikely brotherhood while navigating a system designed for conformity. The show beautifully captures the struggle for identity and resilience when the world is determined to break you down. You can binge this emotional and hilarious series exclusively on Netflix on October 9th. You definitely don't want to miss this one. Up next, The Chair Company.
Thank you for calling National Business Solutions, the #1 destination for office furniture.
I witnessed a problem.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. What was the problem?
It's a big problem.
The Chair Company is a new comedy coming to HBO this fall. If you're a fan of comedies that make you want to stay home and remain on your couch binge-watching, then this is your new obsession. This 8-episode series is the next big thing from the brilliant, beautiful minds of Tim Robinson and Zach Kanan, the legends behind I Think You Should Leave. Sunday, October 12th is when this glorious journey starts, running weekly until November 30th. Tim Robinson stars as William Ronald Trosper, a man whose life explodes after a catastrophically embarrassing moment at work. However, this incident somehow leads him to uncover a massive, far-reaching conspiracy. Seriously, how can you afford to miss out on watching that? Anyways, it boasts an all-star cast including the fantastic Lake Bell. This blend of mystery, office satire, and signature absurdism is going to be super engaging. You can catch every episode on HBO or stream it anytime on Max. Get ready for your new favorite show. If you are enjoying the video so far, remember to hit the like button so that the world can experience 30 uninterrupted years of peace and prosperity. Next up, Down Cemetery Road.
2 bodies and a disappeared child. Maybe this case could go all the way to the top.
Down Cemetery Road is coming to Apple TV Plus this fall, and it has a killer cast: Ruth Wilson and Emma Thompson. It's based on the novel of the same name by Mick Herron, the same author who wrote Slow Horses, so you know the writing is going to be incredibly sharp and twisty. The story kicks off when a house explodes in a quiet Oxford suburb in England, and a young girl vanishes. Ruth Wilson plays the neighbor who becomes totally obsessed with finding the child, and she ends up enlisting the help of Emma Thompson's character, the down-on-her-luck private investigator, Zoe Bohm. Get ready for some serious conspiracy vibes. These 2 women uncover a complex plot where the dead aren't always dead, and the living are in grave danger. It looks dark, witty, and perfectly gripping. You can catch the 8-episode thriller exclusively on Apple TV Plus starting October 29th. Seriously, clear your schedule. Up next, Devil in Disguise.
The detective said missing kids usually come home. What happens when they don't?
If you are a true crime fan and looking for a series that will send shivers down your spine, then you need to mark your calendar for the premiere of Devil in Disguise, the John Wayne Gacy story, an 8-episode limited miniseries coming to Peacock. This is not a documentary, guys. This is a chilling, scripted drama exploring one of America's most infamous serial killers, John Wayne Gacy. Starring Michael Chernus, the series peels back the twisted layers of how Gacy, a seemingly charming community man who even dressed as Pogo the Clown for charity, was able to kidnap and murder 33 young men between 1972 and 1978. All 8 episodes will be available to binge starting Thursday, October 16th, exclusively on Peacock. What makes this a must-watch is that it goes beyond Gacy's story to highlight the heartbreaking narratives of his victims and the systemic failures that allowed his reign of terror to last so long. If you're into dark, character-driven true crime that will keep you up at night, fire up your Peacock subscription because this is it. Next, House of David, Season 2.
David, there's one more obstacle between you and the throne. If we do not act, we will lose everything.
All right, let's talk about the biblical epic that absolutely dominated streaming last year. If you loved the first season's intense drama and incredible visuals, buckle up because the stakes are getting even higher. Season 2 picks up right after David's unbelievable win against Goliath, but his hero status just throws him into King Saul's treacherous court. He's got to deal with political backstabbing, family jealousy, and a growing dangerous romance, all while trying to live up to the prophecy that says he's the next king. The new season is an 8-episode ride, premiering on Sunday, October 5th, 2025. Here's the catch, though. The first 2 episodes will drop exclusively on Prime Video's new Wonder Project subscription channel first. Then it will hit the main Prime Video library later. So if you're like me and can't wait, then you better keep that in mind. Up next, Splinter Cell, Deathwatch.
Been too long, Sam Fisher.
I've got some huge news for all you stealth action fans out there. We are finally getting a Splinter Cell series, and it looks intense. Deathwatch is an adult animated series premiering on Netflix on October 14th. Now, this isn't just any old cartoon. It's being written by Derek Kolstad, the mastermind behind the John Wick franchise. So you know the action and the stakes are going to be absolutely brutal. Liev Schreiber is voicing the legendary Black Ops agent Sam Fisher, who gets pulled out of a long absence to help a wounded young operative, Zinnia McKenna, unravel a global conspiracy. The animation style is sharp and edgy, which is just perfect for the shadowy world of Fourth Echelon. If you love espionage, moral dilemmas, and watching one guy take down an army with nothing but his wits and those iconic green goggles, you have to check this out. You can only stream it on Netflix, so clear that watch list. This is going to be a must-see. Next, The Diplomat.
What happened?
President Rayburn died 4 minutes ago.
Who was he talking to?
My husband. President Rayburn was on the phone with Hal.
The 3rd season of The Diplomat is about to drop, and I can't wait, because Season 2 ended with a real shocker. Kerry Russell's ambassador character Kate Weiler is back, and the political chessboard has completely flipped. Remember how she accused Vice President Grace Penn of a terrorist plot? Well, now the president is dead, and the supposedly terribly flawed Penn is now the boss in the Oval Office. Season 3 dives right into this high-stakes nightmare, with Kate grappling with a role she never wanted but somehow kept getting closer to, thanks in part to her constantly scheming husband, Hal. We're going to see a complicated dance between Kate, President Penn, and the first gentleman, Todd Penn, played by Bradley Whitford. The chemistry and cutting-edge dialogue are still top tier, making this the best political thriller out there right now. The Diplomat Season 3 premieres on October 16th, and you can watch it exclusively on Netflix.
God, this is Alec Murdaugh. I need police and an ambulance immediately.
We are wrapping things up with one of the most unbelievable sagas in recent history. Murdaugh, Death in the Family is a Hulu limited series and a dramatization of the scandal that rocked South Carolina, and it looks absolutely compelling. If you've been following the Murdaugh Murders podcast or the news, you know this story is wild. It centers on Alex and Maggie Murdaugh, who were part of an incredibly powerful legal dynasty until a deadly boat crash involving their son, Paul, started to unravel a horrifying web of secrets. Suddenly, all their privilege couldn't stop the mysterious deaths and financial crimes from coming to light. The cast is stacked. We're talking Jason Clarke as Alex and the phenomenal Patricia Arquette as Maggie, so the acting alone is going to be amazing. Seriously, if you love seeing the dark side of American high society, this is your next obsession. The series premieres on Hulu on October 15th, so grab your snacks, settle in, and prepare for a shocking true crime drama. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found some shows on this list that you feel curious to watch. You can enjoy more great content from our channel by hitting the subscribe button and then clicking on one of the videos on the screen for more binge-worthy recommendations. See you in the next one.